What up, y'all? Welcome back to Zekism. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. And, well, the Super Bowl happened over the weekend, and we got, well, not as many movie trailers as usual, but we got some. One of the ones we did get was the Mandalorian and Grogu's trailer. Can we call it a trailer? It was like an advert. It was like a Budweiser advert, and not a very good one. It was an interesting example of what not to do, I guess, for, oh my god, a multitude of reasons. But like a film not many people were looking forward to. I'm actually one of the few that is looking forward to the Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm a big fan of the TV show, for the most part. Most of the TV show. Season 3 just was not what I wanted from The Mandalorian. But that gripe aside, I am looking forward to seeing the film. I think it's Jon Favreau's swan song. His final act in the Mandalorian universe, whatever, that little side pocket. Because I think, you know, we've heard plans for what they're going to do with Grogu, what they're going to do with Baby Yoda going forward. And anyway, we'll get to that. But let's talk about the trailer. The trailer basically starts in a snow-like world. I'm going to say Hoth, but it's probably not Hoth. With Mandalorian and Grogu. Mandalorian's pulling the carriage, sort of like I was going to say horse and carriage, but it's not. It's you know, aliens. They're not banthas, but they look, you know, some sort of creature that pulls the carriage, and he hands the carriage over to Baby Yoda to you know, handle the steering, take control of the animals. And all the while, Sam Elliott, you know Sam Elliott from various things, in his very unique voice, overlaid, again, like a Budweiser advert, sort of, you know, I understand what they were going for, I get it. It's supposed to be some sort of parody advert, like a humorous sort of, oh, look at that, you know, you think you're expecting a trailer and ha ha ha, or instead you get a sort of an advert come trailer for, you know, like I said, some sort of product you would see at the Super Bowl traditionally, but instead it's the Mandalorian, it's Grogu. I get it. Okay, big laugh, ha ha ha. They swerved us. I get it. It's not like a Ryan Reynolds style execution though of a film or a character that you were looking forward to seeing more of, and instead you get some sort of humorous, you know, side poke type advert. All you get is an advert for something, you don't know what. It's got the Mandalorian and Grogu in it, fine. You know, haha, it's very funny. The issue is one of the issues is that it's not that funny. It's not that funny a joke, and you go, okay, fine. The other, so that aside, the fact it's not funny is sort of, you know, that it is what it is. Aside from that, the fact that nobody looking at the internet is looking forward to the film anyway means that it's sort of like a fruitless endeavor anyway, because in which case, if your goal is to get people excited for a film that people aren't that excited for, and let's be honest, Disney really need it to be a hit, it's a really silly idea to then put when people are looking forward to seeing, well, not looking forward to, but expecting to see a trailer for the Mandalorian, like, sell me on it. Basically what the audience is, sell me on this film. Even people who actually like the Mandalorian TV show, of which I am one, are saying, come on, sell me on this film, because I'm defending it with no basis whatsoever, other than I really am a fan of Jon Favreau. I think he did a really great job on the TV show, and I want to see more of these characters. Sell me on the film. The first trailer I thought was fine. I know the internet ripped it apart. I thought the first trailer was fine. One, it was a teaser, so in which case it's just a little morsel. But also it's, you know, it was you saw the Mandalorian, you know, last few years they haven't been together, and Sigourney Weaver's in it. That's pretty much what the trailer was. It's going to have action in it. It's going to be in the Star Wars universe. That's it. The next trailer we thought we were going to get was the Super Bowl. Instead, you get this weird, you know, Western style, like I said, beer advert instead of a trailer, and you go, okay, what is the marketing department doing here? What are they trying to? Are they trying to put people off going to see the film? It's very, very odd. So maybe they are, with all we've heard about Kathleen Kennedy and you know, the leadership at Disney and Lucasfilm being a bit of a problem. Maybe they are. I don't know, but and that's a conspiracy theory, by the way. There's no evidence of that, but it's interesting that they have taken this tact, and I think, look, from all accounts, the internet is ripping the decision apart. As much as me, even Disney Shields are saying, what was this advert? What the hell was this advert? So it's interesting. I think it's an interesting case study about, like, where are Disney's thoughts and Lucasfilm's thoughts with regards to this film. There's a lot of money at stake as well, because they've spent quite a lot on it. It is the tail end of Kathleen Kennedy's leadership. We know she's leaving at some point during the year. She's being replaced by 2 people in her role, one of which is Dave Filoni, who's been mostly in charge of the creative arc or through lines of Lucasfilm over the last few years. We can always have a debate about how well that's gone. So Star Wars is in a really interesting place, and not a particularly good one. I am not one who has usually been one to go, oh, Star Wars is dead. I don't think it's dead, but I think it's approaching life support now, because if this film does not do well, and I mean does not do well, I mean in terms of does not break even, or is considered a flop, or is really, really underperforms on opening weekend, is dead on arrival, I don't know what Disney does with Star Wars then. I think they have to put it on ice or even retire it. Just because where do you go from here? I think the only thing, because if you need fans to be excited about your universe, about your characters, the characters are part of the problem, but there are characters in the Star Wars universe that people have really looked to cherish. And I'm talking the new characters, right, from that they've introduced since Disney bought Lucasfilm. There are characters in that universe that people are excited to see more of, or want to see more of. There are generations of kids during the early 2000s who grew up with the prequels, who you have nostalgia bait ready to go with. I think Ahsoka is an evidence of one of those. The show was what it was, but I think that character is popular enough with people who were kids back in the early 2000s that you can trade off that nostalgia slightly. Look, all it comes down to is quality. If you make a good show, I'm sure in the end people will come around. Andor, nobody watched season 1 of Andor because of the lack of interest in Star Wars at that time. It's one of the best shows they've ever done, I think. Andor's brilliant. What a welcome success story from Star Wars. Really great show. Really intelligently written, interesting characters, and a really interesting story to go with it. Really liked Andor, both seasons, in fact. I don't think we're going to see any more of Andor, though. That's part of the problem, and that takes place in a portion of time in Star Wars where they've said they don't want to go back to, which is basically the old trilogy. So Star Wars is in a bit of a rut. I think they've attempted to go in a different time period with the Acolyte and even some of the other projects, none of which have been very successful. So what do you do? I think there are fans of the Knights of the Old Republic era, which I know the Acolyte was sort of trading off as well, but that show didn't go down well with a lot of people. So I think it's about execution. I don't think it's dead, but like I said, it is on life support. I don't think Dave Filoni is the genius people herald him to be, just from what I've seen. His creative decisions, and maybe they were influenced by Kathleen Kennedy. So now he's off the rails. Now the shackles are off, is what I meant to say. Maybe we'll see a different vision coming out of Dave Filoni. Maybe we'll see his vision fully formed, and we'll be able to herald him as, the Kevin Feige, if you like, of Star Wars. Although current day Kevin Feige, I'm not sure is that popular with internet fans, so maybe that's a bad example. But then, who is popular with internet fans nowadays? You know what I mean? It's one of those things where you can't please everybody, but they're trying to know anyway. I don't know what you do with Star Wars. I think let's see what Dave Filoni cooks in the next 2 to 3 years. See if there's more interest. He's probably going to go. Like I said, he's probably going to go for that prequel trilogy, because that's where he built the Clone Wars, the animated show out of. Ahsoka's popularity stemmed from, all that sort of stuff. So I think that's probably where he's going to go to. Let's see what he does, and let's see if they follow through on the Thrawn. Is Thrawn the villain in the Mandalorian and Grogu? That's just a side thought I just had. We don't know anything about the story. Why didn't they just release a normal trailer? It's so weird. It's so weird, and it hasn't gone down well with. So they've actually done the opposite of what they intended to do, this turned into a little mini rant because I want to like the Mandalorian and Grogu. I love the TV show. The TV show is really good, by the way. People who hate on Disney Star Wars, Mandalorian is one of the great successes. Season 3 aside, Season 3 was fine in places, not so good in others, and ultimately, it's frustrating to know that all that Kathleen Kennedy wanted to do, or creatives at Lucasfilm, was separate Mandalorian and Grogu. That decision was a silly one, and so we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'll stop ranting now. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you excited for Mandalorian and Grogu? I think I probably know the answer, but let me know in the comment section below anyway. Please leave a like or subscribe on the channel, and I'll speak to you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.